meeting is called to order for the City Council hearing meeting of March 21st, 2019. Tonight, we have a very, very special guest leading us with the Pledge of Allegiance from the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office, Young Marines, Councilman Asbill.
We stand for the presentation of colors. Pledge allegiance led by Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office, Young Marines. Right. Face. Post. Hunger. Present. Arms. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hunger. Order. Arms. Left. Face. Forward. March. Good. Roll call. Now bring it.
Okay, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Councilman Asbill,
Present.
Councilman Buddy, Councilman Chatelain,
Present.
Councilman Johnston,
Present.
Councilman Wheeler,
Present.
Mayor Bodier,
Present.
Police Chief Walker, Fire Chief St. Cyr,
Present.
Municipal Clerk Nicole Lee, absent.
Mr. Mayor, I move to suspend the rules and take up special presentation number 1 now.
Okay. Councilman Asbill wants to make a motion to
Second.
suspend the rules. Motion by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Johnson. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay. 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion's approved.
Can I get the Young Marines to come on back up, please? While they're coming up, I'm going to introduce them. The Young Marines is a national youth organization for boys and girls ages 8 through the completion of high school. The Young Marines' motto is strengthening the lives of America's youth, and they do so by teaching the importance of self-confidence, academic achievement, honoring veterans, citizenship, community service, and living a healthy, drug-free lifestyle. We're lucky to have the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office Young Marines. For the past 24 years, they've been sponsored by each sheriff, so Sheriff Lee, Sheriff Norman, and Sheriff Lipinto. I'm a strong believer, that's good right there. I'm a strong believer that everyone sets their own course in life, but we all have those contributing factors in my life. And as you probably know, because I've talked about it several times, the Young Marines is a big contributing factor in my life on where I am today. And so I think the mayor wants to present a special recognition to the Young Marines. And it says, the Office of the Mayor, City of Harahan, special recognition presented to the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office Young Marines. I do hereby express the pride of the city by confessing this special award in the acknowledgement of the presentation of colors and leading the Pledge of Allegiance. In testimony, I have hereunto set my hand and affix the seal of the city, Harahan, on the 21st day of March, 2019, signed Tim Bodier, Mayor. Thank you. Nice.
Thank you.
Right. Face. Forward. Target.
All right. You ready? Okay, so we're going to now move on to the public hearing. The public hearing is now open for the proposed budget of 2019. Would anyone from the public like to comment on the proposed 2019 budget? Please state your name and address at the podium.
It's a little tall. Judy Johnson, Oak Street.
Ms. Judy, is your mic on?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it is. You're on.
Hello?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. I went through the budget. I'm impressed it's a real budget. Your letter, for all the griping, complaining, and bitching over the last 4 years, Tina Maselli left you a surplus. Y'all ought to be thanking her. Okay? That's the first thing.
Mr. Mayor, I'm just going to interrupt for a second and just remind everyone that we have children in the room, and if we could keep our
Oh,
language.
excuse me. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
Thank you.
Okay. Some questions on the budget, though, really leave me befuddled. There is, first off, Todd, are you satisfied with your budget?
I don't think anyone's going to be satisfied with their budget, Ms. Judy. It's,
Okay.
in range of what it's been for the last bunch of years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tim, are you satisfied with your budget? I mean, they didn't give you what you asked for. In fact, your department is the only department that doesn't have liability insurance. None. I don't know if it's provided for somewhere else in the budget, but it is not in his department. Okay? Ms. Wheeler, you always said you would never pay an accountant more than $48,000 a year. Your accounting service is getting $100,000 plus. Why?
When that figure first was brought to us, when I first saw the budget, I did address with the accountant of the excessive amount of what it was. My understanding is when this accounting firm came in, they've dwelled in a lot of things and uncovered a lot of things that have billed some additional hours to the city. Even access to not even bank accounts, if I'm not mistaken, took several days just to get that. It wasn't something I was happy about.
Well, I think
Yeah.
you owe Miss Linda an apology. Okay? $48,000 was ridiculous, and y'all knew it. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I mean, we could go line by line, but we'll be here all night, and that's not what I want to do. I would hope, and let me make you aware of one thing. This is an article from the Advocate a month ago. 7 cities in Louisiana have been taken over by the state for being in arrears, in bankruptcy, basically. Sterlington, which is near Monroe, has 1,700 residents who are now on the hook for $20 million because of the malfeasance, misfeasance, whatever you want to call it, of their council and mayor. Please don't do that to us, because people, it's not them who pays, it's you. Okay?
Ms. Judy, real quick, were you happy? I mean, I know you've seen budgets for a long time. Were you pretty satisfied? Did you like that we had?
There are a lot of things in here, Tim. Y'all up the sales tax, which it has been going down for the last 3 years. I don't know where you got your figures in some of these cases. But like I said, we could go stand here and do this line for line, but I think that's useless at this point. Usually, we have 2 budget hearings ahead of the adoption. We haven't had but one, this. This is all. None of the members of the head of the account departments have had a say, at least not that the public knew about. And I think that's wrong. Y'all are silencing everybody, and I think that's wrong. Please rethink that.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Judy. All right, do we have a motion to close public hearing?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by?
Second.
Second by Councilman Wheeler. Public hearing is now closed. Do we have a motion to adjourn the public hearing?
Motion.
We have a motion by Councilman Johnson, second by?
Second.
Second by Councilman Buddy. Public hearing is now closed.
So we have a
Public hearing for proposed budget 219 is now closed. So now we're going to go to the public meeting. Okay, the public meeting is now called to order. Madam Clerk, pledge, please. Do y'all want to do the
We did
pledge
that.
again? No, we're going to go ahead and skip the pledge.
We want
All right, we're going to go ahead and call roll call one more
Special,
time,
did
just
you?
for the. We're gonna go to
Councilman
roll.
Asbill. Councilman Buddy.
Present.
Councilman Chatelain.
Present.
Councilman Johnston.
Present.
Councilman Wheeler.
Present.
Mayor Bodier.
Present.
Police Chief Walker. Fire Chief Sincere.
Present.
Municipal Clerk Nicole Lee. Absent.
And also, Shanna, our finance director is here. Ty Turion is with us present today.
Okay.
Okay, special
Oh,
special.
Mayor, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to make a motion to add, I guess it would be number 5. I know we already did number 1 under special presentation, the special event permit for Ziggy Bash on April 7th, Sunday, April 7th.
That's on the new business or on the special presentation?
The representatives from Ziggy Bash are here.
Okay.
And they asked if we can go ahead and move it
Gotcha.
from new business to special presentations.
No
and go ahead
problem.
and address that.
And then Mayor, if you, I've got a couple of minutes to the agenda, if you'll entertain me for a minute.
Copy that.
I'll second for Kerry.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought we did.
Okay, all in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Ziggy Bash is added. As number 5 under special presentations.
I move to amend the agenda to replace Ms. Darlene Schwartz. She won't be here tonight, so I want to replace her with Mike Amedio, the Planning and Zoning Chairman.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Johnson, to replace item number 2 under special presentations of Darlene Schwartz, Community Liaison, to be replaced by Planning and Zoning Council Chairman Mike Amedio. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
And he's not here yet, so we might have to take that out of the order. If,
It's okay.
when he
Take it
shows
out.
And
up.
I'd like to make a motion to add former Councilman Kerry Law Seller to special presentations. And he's also not here yet, but I'm thinking he's showing up at 7:30.
So number
That would be
6.
number 6.
Add him as number 6,
All right,
please.
Yeah.
Councilman Buddy would like to make a motion to add Kerry Larcella
Second.
under special presentations, number 6, second by Councilman Johnson. All in favor?
Yay.
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 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes.
Move to amend agenda to add number 5 under new business, Planning and Zoning Commission nomination.
Motion by Councilman Asbill, second by?
Second.
Second by Councilman Buddy to add, what is that one more time, Councilman Asbill?
Planning and Zoning Commission nomination.
P and Z nominations. All in favor?
Yay.
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 5 yeas, 0 nays. Planning and zoning nominations is added to number 5 under new business.
Move to amend the agenda to add number 6 under new business.
Motion by Councilman Asbill
What
to
is it?
add
What is it?
It's, I'm sorry, it's Planning and Zoning Commission dismissals.
Planning and zoning commission dismissals.
Second.
A second by Councilman Johnston. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Planning and zoning dismissals are added to new business number 6.
Move to amend the agenda to add proposed ordinance 2019-12 under ordinances for introduction, first reading.
I hope you're gonna keep time with me on this one,
I
Councilman
got it. We
Asbill.
got it. I got it.
All right.
I laid everybody a copy beforehand.
Second.
Okay, which proposed ordinance are you?
2019-12.
Yeah.
2019-12.
A second.
Ordinance for introduction, first reading, to amend the agenda, adding 2019-12. What was that for one more time?
Oh, let me get the title for you.
I got it right here.
Here we go. An ordinance to impose for 6 months a moratorium on the re-subdivision, rezoning, and/or issuance of permits for construction or placement of building structures on property within a portion of City of Harahan known as JW Colonial Estates.
And second.
All right, second by Councilman Johnson. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Ordinance of introduction 2019-12, 6-month moratorium on JD Colonial permitting. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion is, proposed ordinance is added.
Finally, move to suspend the rules to move into executive session and take it up now.
Second.
Motion by
Second.
Councilman Asbill, second
Second.
by Councilman Johnson to suspend the rules to move into executive session. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. We'll now adjourn to executive session. So we're gonna move into special presentations. Okay, call the council meeting of March, what is today's date?
21st.
March 21st, 2019. Back to order. Special presentations. We are going to go to Mike Amedio, Chairman of Planning and Zoning. Mr. Mike Amedio, please state your name and address at the podium.
Michael Amedio, 409 Crescione.
also serve as chairman for planning and zoning for the city of Harahan. Pleasure to be here. Thank y'all for having me. Sorry I was late. Sorry about that. And just to get off topic for just a second, Chief and the other chief, he's not in here to hear it, but thank y'all for everything y'all do. You know, always a blessing to have y'all. So I made some copies. I'm gonna give this out. Take one.
Yep, sure.
So that should be enough. Wait till everybody gets one. So I will offer the, if you want me to read the whole thing, it's about a page and a half, or paraphrase. Tommy, he's gonna want full detail, as usual, you know what I mean? But I see if he gets outvoted, you know? So,
Whatever you're comfortable with.
all right. I'll try to breeze over this, as quickly as possible. A good amount of information in here. So, I created this earlier today, and, basically it states that as chairman, I feel responsible for sharing some information with the council and the mayor, that the board is suffering from lack of attendance, as well as some of the members are in violation of state law. So, Louisiana law requires that we have 4 hours of training to be completed within the first year of taking their position. So, enclosed, they have some more detail that shows exactly what we're talking about, and I'll read out the Louisiana law and then also the part that's in the Harahan Ordinance. Louisiana law, Louisiana Title 33, Municipalities and Parishes, RS 33, 1301.1, training requirements. All appointed members of parish and municipal planning and commissions and of advisory boards, such commissions, including boards of zoning adjustments, shall receive at least 4 hours of training in duties, responsibilities, ethics, and substance positions held or to be held either prior to taking office or no later than 1 year after office is assumed. So to my knowledge, that I know of, and also what was provided by the former city assistant, Barbara Harney and Dal Frez have never completed this training. So, in fact, last night I asked Ms. Harney if she was able to complete the training on the 20th. I asked her, and she said that she never did it. Dal Frez has not responded to my emails requesting confirmation, as well as he has not been at any of the meetings for an opportunity for me to ask him in person. We were notified by the previous mayor that we needed to do this. In 2017, she let us know. An email was sent out by City Hall to schedule the training. The first available date was in June. A reminder email was sent out on the 29th, and because the last day to sign up for June was the 30th. Also included in that was another notation explaining in writing, training is required for all members. Another opportunity for required training was held on December 8th. A reminder email was sent out on the 15th. Ms. Harney and Mr. Dalfrez were both copied on this email. When I asked a certain member why they did not attend the December 8th training, they blamed the weather, but they also had 3 other members that were able to make it that same day, that live in the same city and it was in the same location. So, not much of an excuse, in my opinion. And also, that person who missed that opportunity was past their 1-year window of grace period that's allowed by the state law. The next issue is attendance. According to the City of Harahan Code of Ordinances, Section 19, am I reading that right? Sorry, New Roman numerals, you know what I mean? So subsection 4, all members of commission shall attend at least 75% of the meetings per year. Failure to comply with this subsection shall be a basis for removal from office. Said removal shall be based on an annual review of attendance, followed by a motion of the city council to remove members whose attendance is below 75%. So this is a really interesting part. According to a spreadsheet that was provided to me on November 16th, Mr. Dalfrez was absent for 100% of the planning and zoning meetings for the year of 2018. I read that correctly, and let me repeat that. He missed every single meeting in 2018. Ms. Jelpy was absent for 50%, as well as Ms. Harney was absent for 50%. Absence causes the city of Harahan to not have a full quorum multiple times, and we had frustrated citizens. It's an insult to me, to the citizens that show up, the people that are trying to do business with us. It delays potential investors in the city. Also, if somebody's trying to bring something to the city and build something, and the citizens are mad about it, and they can only make it this month, they won't be able to make it next month, and they miss it because there's not a full quorum, there's some very PO'd residents, and they have a right to feel that way. And me and others, I think Tommy's been there, where we had to answer some questions that we weren't in a position really to answer. Didn't know why people weren't showing up and all that stuff. And I understand that people have a separate life and things happen, things come up, but missing 100% is ridiculous, you know what I mean? I would rather see that person removed and be replaced with someone who would maybe take it more seriously or have a better opportunity to be available for all the meetings. Maybe it's, something out of that person's control. So that's my issue, we've been battling it. Tommy, you sat on the board with us. So, and some of the council here has been at planning and zoning meetings, and y'all see it. So I'm here asking for help. It's a constant cleanup. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I hate to see anybody lose something that they like to do, but there's a second side of that coin. They need to hold up their end of the bargain. They signed up for it. They volunteered. It is what it is. We're all grown-ups. Do your job.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Mike, I just want to say, first of all, I appreciate your service on that commission, and more so as the chairman. I know it's difficult to wrangle people sometimes, and we appreciate that. I'm sure everybody feels the same. Thank you.
It is just real fast, it is a voluntary board. To give your time up for free is, awesome. Again, I want to thank you very much. It's a board that we look to for guidance. I know we've had struggles with having a city planner on staff. We are in the process of bringing a city planner back in for you guys to have that advice that you may need and that guidance. And so we're working diligently because, I see how hard you work, and to come on a voluntary basis is an incredible feat to do and want to be a part of your city. It's the kind of city that I want. It's the kind of city that I want to be the mayor of, people getting involved, people wanting to be involved. And again, I applaud you and everyone who shows up to that planning and zoning board. It takes time away from your family and your children, and I thank you very much for it. It shows that you really care.
Well, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I enjoy doing it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike. Appreciate it.
Any questions? Also attached on the following pages of that is the documentation to prove what I just put in that letter.
Gotcha.
So,
All right. Thank
all
you,
right.
Mike.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we're gonna move on to special presentations. Move on to special presentations number 3, current state affairs of the Harahan Police Department. Chief Walker.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, viewing public. Tim Walker, Harahan Police Chief. Things have been pretty slow this month, but that's why we live here, because it's crime-free, pretty much. But what there's been a lot more lately, it seems, is telephone scams. And what I can't understand is somebody gets a phone call from a public utility or IRS, and they go pay them with gift cards. Why would IRS receive a Best Buy gift card or public utility? Use common sense. The scams, most of them appear to be illegit, the calls. Just hang up on them. Don't press 1, don't press 2, don't answer, just hang up. I'll probably get 4 or 5 or a dozen a day about a Google business account that I don't have. I know they aggravating, but don't respond to them. And if they say they IRS or utility company, call back, get a reference number and try and verify it. And again, why would they accept a gift card from Best Buy or one of these other stores? They want their money. They don't want a gift card for payment. Also, as usual, if you see something that looks suspicious, call us. See something, say something. Another thing we noticed a lot is house numbers, whether at the house or at your business place. When you go home and check, make sure your numbers are all there and that they're visible. First responders, whether it's police, fire, or EMT, for an ambulance request, time is of an essence. And a lot of times, we have trouble finding that location because the numbers are not visible or they're not all there. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Proclamation, Ms. Anna O'Neill Fontana.
No.
So I was chosen to read this lovely proclamation from Ms. Anna O'Neill Fontana. City of Harahan Proclamation. Whereas Ms. Anna O'Neill Fontana will be honored by friends and relatives on the occasion of her 90th birthday on April 4th, 2019. And whereas she was born in Harahan on April 4th, 1929, and has been a lifelong resident of this community. And whereas her father, Charles O'Neill, was instrumental in incorporating Harahan and became one of its first aldermen. And whereas she became the wife of Arnold Fontana in the 1950s, and this marriage was blessed with 3 children, 6 grandchildren, and 5 great-grandchildren. And whereas in addition to being a wife and mother, she was active in the formation of the St. Rita's Mothers Club and participated in many other civic and church activities. Now therefore, I, Tim Bodier, Mayor of the City of Harahan, along with the Harahan City Council, do hereby deem it an honor and pleasure to extend the certificate of recognition to Ms. Anna O'Neill Fontana on the occasion for her 90th birthday with sincere congratulations and best wishes for many and more happy years.
We're gonna actually take some time out of our day to go visit Miss Anna Fontana on her birthday. I believe it is April 5th? No. Oh, April 3rd, I'm sorry, April 3rd. Okay, well, we'll be there to visit her on April 3rd. Miss Judy's actually been helping us with this, and I really appreciate, you know, her working with us on it. And, but we thank you very much. Thank you, Miss Judy. Even though sometimes we don't always disagree, I love when you get involved and help with the support of the community. Number 5.
John Orr and Mike Adams regarding the Ziggy Bash.
Ziggy Bash, that's the,
Ziggy Bash.
yeah, for Ziegler, the fireman.
Danny Ziegler.
How's it going, everyone? I don't know if you can hear me. I'm here today. I'm a fireman for JPFD. My name is Michael Adams. Here today to try to get a letter of approval for this event, which is a benefit for the firemen that got burned, which I'm sure all y'all heard the story. And what we're doing is cooking crawfish all day, having 4 live bands. It was 3 bands. Well, it started off with 4, 1 bailed. I've been like on the phone nonstop trying to get 4 bands. So finally got 4. And then we're gonna have pizza on the side for the kids. We're gonna have spacewalk, the whole 9 yards. It's going from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. 8 p.m. And yeah, come out.
And that's gonna be,
April 7th, and it'll be at my brother's bar. The whole gas station parking lot and everything. So, but yeah, we're trying to raise up as much money as possible for our fellow firemen, you know. So, but I appreciate it. All y'all were supporting us and do the letter for us, you know. Take it to the next step.
You got it.
Thank you.
we appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
Yep.
All I can ask is, I'm sure we're gonna have a humongous turnout, so it'll be huge.
You see the
Yeah,
fire
we're gonna try to. I think we're doing 400 pounds at a time. But we're gonna have like, supposedly we've got 2 cookers going, so we're gonna do 400, and then the minute that one starts soaking, we're gonna have another 400 ready to go. So I can't tell y'all a price on the plates because we gotta wait till kind of like 3 days before the event. But come out, you know.
I think it's gonna be a huge event. I think it's gonna be great. All we can ask is coordinate with the police department, make sure we have detailed officers out there.
I think we got 2. We got 2 details.
There's 2 officers confirmed already from HPD.
Okay, because I'm sure you're gonna have JPs and all, you know, everybody's gonna be there, but we
Yeah.
would like to have at least a couple of our Harahan officers there.
That and I think a few of the fire trucks from us are gonna go out of service to show face at the event and all that. So they're gonna have their presence too. And then if Harahan, if y'all want to come out, you know.
Oh, you know, we'll be
all
there.
right, good.
As far as parking goes, I mean, maybe collaborate with St. Rita or the Dollar General parking lot or something like that, because, you know, I mean, if it's anything like what happened at the other fire department where they sold $33,000 worth of fish to help, I mean, it's probably gonna be a
Right.
heck of a success. You know, so
Right.
maybe try to get out and act. If you need my help or Eric's help, we'll try to get in. We're just trying to coordinate. Maybe we, I don't know, I don't wanna say golf cart, chief might kill me, but maybe get something back and forth to where we can escort people. You know, I mean, because this gonna be out of hand,
Right.
so.
Yeah.
Hey,
You might be able to use,
more money the better, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank
you.
you.
Thank y'all.
While they're up there, John, I'd like to say, first of all, thank you, Mr. Aggie. You know, in our community, you have those people who really go above and beyond to help. And this gentleman right here with My Brother's Bar and the store and the gas station has really gone above and beyond for this community. Anytime the HAA has needed something, other people in the community that have been sick or needed help, this guy puts his business out there and really is a strong staple of our community. I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for helping the fire service. It's comforting to know that you're there when we may need you. So thank you. So we really do appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So just to remind everybody, it'll be Sunday, April 7th. It's from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at My Brother's Bar. And there, again, there's gonna be crawfish, pizza, there'll be a 50-50 raffle, and then live music.
Spacewalk for kids.
Spacewalk,
we got
yes,
porta potties.
yes.
We got 50-50 raffle, and then actually Kinder Fireman's making a crawfish table.
Okay. Mike, are you still looking for sponsors? I was gonna,
Yeah, I mean, anything helps, really, because.
is it okay if I say your phone number?
Say it again?
Can I say your phone number?
Oh, yeah, that's
Okay,
fine.
all
Yeah,
right, so
just
they're
call me.
looking for sponsors, obviously you'd be interested, you can contact Mike Adams at 504-416-8874.
Or if you just want to talk, give the guy a call.
There you go.
He'll be happy to chat with you.
Yeah, it's checks, you can't make it out to me. You gotta make it out to the Danny Ziegler Support Trust.
No, you do. I'm just making.
So, okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve the special event. I believe it's just a letter that the city needs to issue. I've spoken to the chief about this. I think to get the permit, y'all just need an approval from the administration.
from the
Correct.
city. Yeah.
So I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve
Second.
Ziggy Bash on Sunday, April 7th from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m.
All right, so we
Second.
have a motion by Councilman Wheeler for approval of the Ziggy Bash, second by Councilman Johnston for the permit. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Permit will be issued. Thank you. Number 6?
Carrie Lauricella.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kerry Lauricella. This is my sister, Charlene Lauricella. We're Harahan children. We grew up out here, and the Harahan we knew is what it's becoming again, thanks to this council and this mayor.
Thank you.
I mean, Raina was kind enough to show me some old pictures on City Hall and when Freddie Wilcox was the mayor, and all you see is all these people smiling. You got to go look at it. I mean, it's really something. So my father was, I mean, everybody rides into Harahan and you see the same sign. Welcome to Harahan, the city of friendship. I think my old neighbor Jules Trabo actually painted that sign. But, some people it's just a phrase. But to my father, Sugar Lauricella, it wasn't just a phrase. Sugar was a true friend to, I think, every single person in the city of Harahan. I mean, how did Dad get his name?
He was friendly to everybody his whole life.
Right, so they called him Sugar. So, I mean, but Dad not only started a little bitty church right here in Harahan, he actually started here in City Hall. Tell me about political correctness today. But Dad started right here, and he opened a little church, but his calling was not to just be a preacher. His calling was a crazy call, to feed starving people. How nuts can you be? And I asked Bill Capel one time, I said, how many people do you think Dad actually fed, saved their lives? He said, Gary, there's no way to even keep track of something like that. So, but the main thing my father did was he instilled friendship everywhere he went. So we thought it would be nice to push that and to continue that. So we've started the Sugar Lauricella Friendship Award. And this first recipient, and it took a lot of thought to pick this, was someone that did 2 or 3 things that earned this, and he truly earned it. Number one, he took down bulletproof glass in Harahan City Hall. You got to think about that. he put a coffee pot out, which former Mayor Carlo Ferrera actually did for Mr. Cuss. I know he aggravated him, but he put the coffee pot out there so he could let him sit out in the lobby. So this year's recipient of the Sugar Laura Sella Friendship Award is Mayor Tim Bodier.
Wow, this sucker's heavy.
Getting a picture.
Please be considerate of your cell
Thank you very much.
Tim, congratulations. Y'all keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie.
This is an amazing honor. When I became mayor, it was all about working together. It was all about how great could we be if we worked together. I've served under 3 mayors. Not always, what I really wanted it to be sometimes, and we've had difference of opinion, and this council and I do something very unique. I don't make a decision without them. We all work together. Every decision's made jointly. Everything we do is together. We know we will all win together. We're prepared. If it may happen, we'll all go down together. But I can tell you this, at the end of the day, in 4 years, we will be together. So thank you very much. I am so excited for the future of this city. And the Laura Sella name is just so unbelievable. And this is probably one of the greatest honors I've ever received in my life. Thank you very much. I'm a little choked up. Okay, Madam Clerk, approval of the minutes?
Reading of the minutes of the council meeting on February 21st, 2019.
Do we have a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Asbill. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion passes. We will dispense with the reading of the minutes. Madam Clerk?
Approval of the minutes of the council meeting on February 21st, 2019.
Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Chatelain, second by Councilman Johnston. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas,
Yay.
0 nays. Motion passes. To approve the minutes. Madam Clerk?
Reading of the minutes of the special meeting on March 4th, 2019.
Okay, do we have a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Chatelain, second by Councilman Johnston. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. We will dispense with the reading of the minutes of the special meeting. Madam Clerk?
Approval of the minutes of the special meeting on March 4th, 2019.
Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Adbill. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
Yay, 5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting of March 4th, 2019. Passed. All right, Madam Clerk, communications?
None.
Okay, there was no communications for, wow, we had no communications whatsoever. All right, ordinances for approval.
Resolution.
I'm sorry,
No resolutions.
We have no resolutions, so we'll skip that and we'll go to ordinances for approval.
The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Johnston and seconded by Councilman Asbill. Proposed ordinance number 2018-18. An ordinance to amend ordinance 1333, Harahan zoning ordinance, section 18-C, substandard lots of record.
Okay, do I have a motion to open for public hearing?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Wheeler. Public hearing is now open. Okay, no one want to speak on this. Do I have a motion to close public hearing?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, Chatelain, second by Councilman Johnson. Public hearing is now closed. Okay. Council discussion?
My only discussion is a motion to amend to the Plan and Zoning Board's recommendations, which we should all have a copy of that.
Okay.
So to be clear, there was an original proposed ordinance submitted by Councilman Benton back in 2018. And the planning and zoning took it up again, made other amendments, and so
Correct.
that's what you want to put it,
Correct.
okay,
Planning and zoning took it up once.
Right.
okay.
The council's, council members' amendment draft, since it affected planning and zoning, went to planning and zoning.
Gotcha.
And planning and zoning took it up and made some suggested changes, and that's what we're voting on tonight.
Right.
Okay, do I have a motion to proceed with the vote?
I have a,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
A second the
I need a
amendment.
second for the amendment.
Well,
He,
Now you can open for discussion.
Okay, so you-
Yeah, I'd like to-
all in favor of the amendment?
oh, you need a second.
Who seconded the amendment?
I second the
Oh,
amendment.
Councilman Asbill, motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Asbill, all in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays, amendment is approved.
Okay, and I would like to make one amendment too. Throughout this proposed ordinance, it references that the duty as far as application and the public hearing and everything is now the duty of the city clerk. That was always understood that that was the regulatory department's clerk. So there are some lines that I would like to change where they're now putting the duties on the city clerk to change to read the regulatory department clerk.
Regulatory clerk.
So starting on line 35, 34, it says, "The regulatory director shall forward the application and accompanying documents to the Planning and Zoning Commission and the city clerk." I'm not, I mean, I think everything flowed through the regulatory clerk, if I'm not mistaken, in the past.
Right.
Well,
So
it
I'd
has,
like to,
may I
Yes,
comment?
sir.
It's got to go to the city clerk, so it's advertised.
no, I understand, but my understanding is all the duties fell with the regulatory department. The regulatory clerk would then forward it to the city clerk. Because there's another one right here where it says on line 38, "The city clerk shall cause to be public within 1 week." I thought that was all, I remember Ms. Charlene doing the publications under regulatory, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, well, wasn't Ms. Charlene doing it? Because I know there was instances where stuff was not advertised, and I understand that. But I know there was times that Ms. Charlene was advertising, or things weren't getting advertised. So I just want to make sure that the duties are where they were. Because if it's the city clerk, then it should have been the city clerk from the beginning. My understanding, it was the regulatory. So
I would.
I just want to make,
I would prefer it be the city clerk,
I would say,
because I think the person who does the regular advertising is the person who is more likely to get it done correctly and not have a problem with something that hasn't been advertised correctly and put the brakes on a public meeting.
You gonna say something, Jason?
yeah, I was just gonna recommend we leave, so 34 and 35, change that to regulatory clerk, but the advertisement should stay with the city clerk.
that,
So the 38 should probably stay with the city clerk.
I guess I was just a little confused as to
Yeah.
whose duty
Yeah,
it
who
was,
was, yeah.
because I'm being told it's the clerk and then the regulatory was doing it. So, I would probably,
I'm gonna agree with Mr. Asbill. The city clerk should be responsible for the advertisement. The regulatory clerk should be responsible to take the application.
Okay.
Okay, then also.
Mr. Media, would you like to comment on this, since you're the,
On line 56, on line 56 also it mentions
Well,
city clerk.
public hearing's closed, so we,
56.
can we make special concession and bring up the planning and zoning chairman?
Is a point of order?
What would,
All right, go ahead. Point of order by Councilman Asbill to bring up, planning and zoning chairman Mike Amedio,
second.
second by Councilman Johnson.
Do I have to state my name? Mike Amudio, 49 Crescione. Also Planning and Zoning Chairman. Buddy, you sat in on some of this stuff too as well. I agree with you, Mr. Asbill. I think that when we were under discussion, that's how we looked at it, was that we don't want to, the city clerk already has enough duties on her plate, on their plate, as it is. We don't want to overload them. But I do agree with the fact that, the city clerk is the one that actually does the advertising. But we wanted to keep the stuff with the regulatory department to be handled by that clerk, as far as, I have to read the word.
The old ordinance,
application.
Yeah,
if
the
you
application.
look at the old ordinance on line 43, it was a run-on paragraph. And it inferred a large number of duties on the city clerk. So one of the corrections in here is we just made a new paragraph on line 43 separating responsibilities we thought were regulatory from the city clerk specifically. That's one of the, it's a hard change to pick up because everything looks the same except your paragraph numbering is different after paragraph E.
So when we first got it, it was chopped up, it was really bad. It was almost trying to be like a copy and paste of another piece of the ordinance, another subsection. So
Right.
we tried to clean it up as much as possible without muddying the waters, but we wound up making it longer and longer as we went along. But I guess the only message I want to get across was, Mr. Asbill, I think that, you know, you're on the right path as far as, you know, trying to, and same thing with you, Ms. Wheeler, is that we wanted to alleviate, we wanted to make sure that we're not putting more burden on the city clerk because they have enough duties, but at the same time have the regulatory department handle their end, is what they need to do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, so-
So I think
but-
I think the final amendment should be.
Also,
Yeah,
before you do final
I got
amendment, they
it.
also have 56. You doing
Yeah.
that one too? Okay.
All right, so good. So
Well, hold on, wait,
Go ahead.
let's talk about 30, which, go ahead.
I would say
Mr. Asbill.
line 35.
Yeah, 35 could probably, because this is just forwarding the application. I guess my concern was I just needed to get clarification on whose duty was it to do the advertising, because I was always understood that was done by the regulatory department, not the city clerk.
I would have to ask city council, I'm not sure, but I would think by law, it would be the city clerk would be responsible.
I
I
understand,
mean,
but
I'm
in
not
the past,
positive.
Miss Maddie was doing it.
Wasn't right.
No,
So I would say line 35 and line 56 change to regulatory clerk.
Yep.
And leave line, where are we at?
Leave line 38.
38 as the city clerk.
Right.
So we have a motion on the floor by
I'm
Councilman
sorry,
Jasmine.
what are you changing the regulatory clerk?
Line 35 and line
Line
56
But you're changing city clerk?
with the, yeah.
to
make it the
regulatory clerk.
regulatory clerk.
And
Okay,
leaving-
how does it get to, I mean, again, this was a process change. And this whole amendment came up because of the failure of the city to put a permit for building on 25-foot substandard lots. It never made it to planning and zoning. So this is purely housekeeping. So it was how do these things move from receiving a permit to getting to people, to getting to planning and zoning. So I'm going to put to you that sending a copy to the city clerk is not a problem because the city clerk further on has to advertise it. So
They're
maybe
leaving-
we're correcting a problem that doesn't exist. Somebody's got to give it to the city clerk for the city
I
clerk to
understand what
do
you're saying, because the
her job.
regulatory department's actually presenting
Yeah.
it to them, because she has to advertise.
She has to have a copy.
Okay, so I guess the amendment should be
Just 56.
to change line 56 to regulatory clerk.
Well, and I'm going to ask a question, and this is out of my ignorance. Who, when a recommendation for planning and zoning comes back to the city and it gets packaged up to the council, isn't it the city clerk who does that? I mean, isn't that where it belongs? And that's a question. I've never talked to the clerk, city clerk about that, but it's got to get back to the city clerk because it becomes part of a report to the council, which our city clerk does, and then it becomes part of the minutes. It's a process issue.
Yeah, so I guess the option is to defer it and figure out what the process that the city employees want. Because at some point, I think it's got to be common sense based upon our professionals here on how they handle this business.
Okay.
I'm fine with
With
deferring.
that being said, I motion to defer till
All right, we have a-
next council meeting.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilman Johnson to defer proposed ordinance number 2018-18. Do you have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Wheeler. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
Motion to defer passes. Try to get it right on with you guys. Madam Clerk?
The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Chatelain and seconded by Councilman Johnston. Proposed ordinance number 2018-26. An ordinance granting a franchise to MCI Metro Access Transmission Corp. doing business as Verizon Access Transmission Services to lay, maintain, and operate a fiber optic transmission cable for the transmission of telephonic data, and other electronic messages in, on, and or across public places or ways in prescribing conditions and limitations.
Okay, do I have a motion to open for public hearing?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Wheeler. Public hearing is now open. No one want to come speak forward on this? Do I have a motion to close public hearing?
Motion.
Have a motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Asbill. Public hearing is now closed. Council discussion?
I'm gonna make a motion to defer this.
We haven't heard back yet, correct?
Yeah, we in communications with them still.
Yeah, we have emails going back as much as today. So deferring this so we can get with them would be a good idea.
Okay, so we have a
Second.
motion on the floor by Councilman Johnson to defer, Councilman Chatelain to defer proposed
Second.
ordinance 2018-26, second by Councilman Johnson. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Proposed ordinance number 2018-26 is deferred. Madam Clerk?
The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Johnston and seconded by Councilman.
I'll second it.
Proposed ordinance number 2019-1, an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances.
Dash 7.
-7.
Oh,
No,
I'm
it should be
sorry,
7.
I'm sorry.
It's a typo, it's okay.
Oh, it's a typo?
Yep, it's good, it's 7.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
An ordinance of adopting the annual budget of revenue and expenditures for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2019 for the city of Harahan, Louisiana.
Okay, do I have a motion to open for public hearing?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by?
Second.
Second by Councilman Chatelain. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Public hearing is now open. Anyone liking to speak on this motion? No one like to speak on this motion? Public hearing is now closed. I have a motion to close public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by
Second.
Councilman Wheeler. Public hearing is now closed. Council discussion?
Yes, may I like to make an amendment, please? I have 2 amendments. Under general fund, page 4, line 61. Transfer from sewer fund, mayor's proposed budget as 100,000, I'd like to make that 0. It's not on? Can you, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard.
Okay.
I'll second the amendment. Are we gonna do one at a time?
No, I can, and I
Let's
have one
just-
more.
it's
if
two
that's okay
amendments.
with
We'll
you.
do it all as one.
Hey, one second.
Oh, sorry.
It's on pause.
On play. It's on play. Eric, hit record. It's hitting play.
Line 61, page 4, under general fund, transfer from sewer fund, 100,000. I'd like to amend that to 0.
Did it do it?
Yes?
It keeps kicking off.
Okay, so we'll go.
Okay.
Okay, so, Councilman Wheeler?
So again, page 4, line 61, transfer from sewer fund, 100,000, to make that 0. And then on page 6, line 32, miscellaneous governmental, general government, 72, I'd like to increase that to 172. Those are my 2
I'll
amendments.
second.
Okay, we have a second by Councilman Johnson to amendments made by Councilman Wheeler. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Amendments pass. Okay, do we have a motion to call for the vote?
Motion.
I'm sorry, we have another?
We have to open up a public hearing.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Open the public hearing.
On the amendment, okay. Do I have a
Motion
motion to
open.
open for public hearing on the amendments? Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by
Second.
Councilman Wheeler. All in favor, yay?
Yay.
Yay.
No one wanting to speak on the amendments? I'm sorry?
Hold on a second. You do that. Ouch, I'm sorry, I have bad legs tonight. Go back to page 4. You're gonna have to change line 72, won't you? If you're bringing it all down, transfers out, net excess
Now,
deficiency.
that should wash.
Okay, wait. Ty, would you like to? Okay.
I mean, it doesn't just affect one line.
Good evening, Mayor, Council.
But changing those lines is gonna.
Right, so the way the, kind of the budget schedules work, the transfer from sewage on page 4, line 61 would go to 0,
Right.
but the budget would be unchanged because, hold on one second.
You're gonna change line 62. You're gonna decrease that by $100,000.
Right, but we're increasing in another line. And I
Correct.
think the overall of the net access would still remain the same.
Correct.
Correct.
You have net access deficiency of revenues over expenditures right here. Shouldn't that change too? Why wouldn't that change?
No, because the change on page 6, line 32, if you look at that, page 6, line 32, that's
Right.
the other change.
You're adding in the $100,000, I get that.
Right. So
But you still have to change the total transfer in number.
on page 4? Yes, so the total transfer in line 63 would be reduced by
100,000.
100,000.
So maybe
Right.
20, okay.
So that has
Right.
to be included in the amendment.
And then the total revenue would be increased on line 42 on page 6 to 1.399.
You gotta follow it through.
And the total revenue on line,
42.
On 42, page
Page
6
6.
would then be 1
page,
million, yeah.
page 1, line 16.
I mean, I'm no accounting guy, but once you change it on
Once you
the
change
interior
it,
lines, it'll
yeah.
drop down.
It'll drop
Yes,
down.
It's all
Right.
automated, so yes, but
Correct. Once you change the line, it's automatically gonna
It,
change the
it,
total.
it will, but we're not working with an Excel spreadsheet, so
No.
I think Ms. Judy's correct. The lines that are gonna change in the spreadsheet, I think we probably do have to make reference to.
Okay. So then I guess an additional amendment would be line 63 on page 4 where it says total transfer in would be 2,129,070.
Correct.
All right.
Then on page 6, line 42, total revenues would be 1,399,054.
And we're gonna have to change line 40 also.
line 40 on page 6.
Line 40 also.
Okay.
Right.
I'm making a motion. Follow
Yeah.
the Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah,
Change those two line items and all affected
Totals,
numbers there, totals there.
right,
Affect every line.
yeah.
Okay, so you good with your
Supposed
motion?
to say change the percentage.
yeah. I would just like to make a motion to change line 61 to 0, increase line 32 to 172, and all lines affected thereafter are hereby adjusted.
There you go.
Yep.
That
Correct.
seems perfect to me.
Okay.
Second.
I
Thank you.
second.
Okay.
And
Yeah, wait, sorry, I'm sorry.
That's why they keep me sitting here.
just to make it clear, it would have no change in the total excess of
Excess,
revenues
right,
over
correct.
expenditures of 48,000.
So we have a motion on the floor by
I'll
Councilman.
second.
Oh, you good?
I'm
We have
second.
a motion on the floor by Councilman Wheeler to make the said changes. Do I have a second? We have a second by Councilman
Second.
Johnson. All in favor?
Yeah.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Amendments pass.
Oh,
Okay, now, do I have a motion on the floor to call for the vote?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Wheeler, second by Councilman
Second.
Johnston. Oh, second by Buddy.
That's
I
fine.
think you got one in on me. Okay, all in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Thank you guys very much. I love these guys. I love these guys. All right, Madam Clerk.
The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Chatelain and seconded by Councilman.
I'll second.
Proposed ordinance number 2019-8, an ordinance to amend ordinance number 1361, City of Harahan Personnel Manual for City Employees, Non-Civil Service, beginning your job, which changes the probationary period for all full-time employees of the City of Harahan.
Okay. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Motion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Wheeler. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Would anyone like to speak on this? Ms. Judy, we're just gonna let you stay up there.
I think I need a chair. All right, Judy Johnson, Oak. This is a book, the manual for all the employees. It's for the non-civil service employees. This was updated a long time ago. Well, I should say it wasn't updated a long time ago. If Carrie will remember, you added some wording about the storm days.
Yeah, the
Remember
weather
one?
days.
Right,
Well, I
but
don't-
that was never adopted.
That never came to fruition, yes, ma'am.
No, it was never adopted. But when we
I can
did
show my
this,
faith in it.
we realized there were a number of ordinances that had been adopted changing it, but had never been codified into the book, okay? So the mayor asked me to research all the changes and incorporate into the proper places in the manual, which I did. And this is the document that I codified. You need to add the wording from this ordinance for tonight, and then once you do that and codify everything, it'll all be in one book. Then I would suggest you make the books available to all the employees and have them re-sign.
So
Give this to your attorney so he can look it over.
I would say we make a motion to defer this until April so that we can adopt those changes all in one ordinance.
Do we have time?
I'm gonna suggest that we not, because this puts us in compliance with current federal law.
Yeah.
So the paperwork, it should follow the adoption of law.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm gonna give this to the attorney to look at.
Thank you, Ms. Judy.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right. It's already been adopted. She just went ahead
This is just codifying, this is codifying our procedure and our law.
No, what she's saying is that there's other ordinances that were adopted that affected, she codified it into
Correct.
this manual.
We can go with this.
Right.
We go with this. We need to add that. Correct.
Okay, so do I have a motion to close public hearing?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Chatelain, second by Councilman Buddy. Public hearing is now closed. Council discussion.
Yeah, this ordinance is basically put in place because of the Fair Labor Act. I think when the health insurance, it should have been put in effect a while back. We just haven't been following proper guidelines. So we put this in effect, it's gonna, numerous times, yeah. So it's basically updating it since basically the Fair Health Care Act. 2015 Obamacare, basically, the fair.
Right.
So that's what this ordinance is basically doing, just putting us in compliance.
Okay. Do I have a motion to call for the vote?
Motion.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Wheeler. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Proposed ordinance passes. Madam Clerk?
The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Johnston and seconded by Councilman.
I'll second.
Councilman Wheeler?
Proposed ordinance number 2019-9, an ordinance to amend ordinance 1333, Harahan zoning ordinance, section 21, amendments to the zoning ordinance, paragraph B, procedure, subparagraph 5, and paragraph C, fees.
Okay. Do I have a motion to open for public hearing?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Asbill. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Don't be sleeping down there on me, Councilman Asbill. I'm gonna wake you up. Yeah. All right, public hearing is now open. No one coming to speak forward. Public hearing. Do I have a motion to
Motion.
close public hearing? Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Asbill. Public hearing is now closed. Council discussion?
No discussion.
Discussion.
I do.
Okay.
Actually, I'm sorry.
Christ.
So I've noticed, it says we're amending paragraph 5, but the current ordinance is exactly the same as paragraph 5. Do we know why we're doing that? What?
I think it's the fees.
No,
Change of the fees, section C.
No. But it's saying we're amending paragraph 5 in the ordinance, and that's the exact same as this. Am I mistaken?
This was ordinance that was brought up before my time. I was just sponsoring after I knew about the dollar amount, but I wasn't aware that it didn't change that.
And on further discussion on that, this was the one we kind of, or the previous council missed with the other one?
Correct.
Is that right?
Correct.
So should we defer both of them at the same time?
I think we can go with this one, I think.
Okay.
There are a couple of minor
I was
changes
looking, yeah,
in
there's
5.
something in 5. I'm looking at.
There are, okay.
Talking about the sign posted on the property by the city is a change. between the old 5 and the new 5. And I'm just trying to A/B it as we go, but there's at least one difference.
Okay.
So there is something different.
Then we'll go with it.
Okay.
Okay, do I have a motion to proceed with the vote?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Wheeler. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Proposed ordinance 2019-9 passes. All right, Madam Clerk.
Ordinance for introduction. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman.
I'll take it.
Proposed ordinance number 2019-10. An ordinance approving the re-subdivision of lots 104, 105, and 106. Hickory Knoll subdivision, City of Harahan, Parish of Jefferson, State of Louisiana, made by KLS Group Incorporated, dated January 30th, 2019. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Asbill. Proposed ordinance number 2019-11. An ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Harahan to provide for the imposition of charges for recycling services. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Asbill. Proposed ordinance number 2019-12. An ordinance to impose for 6 months a moratorium on the re-subdivision, rezoning, and/or issuance of permits for construction or placement of buildings on property within JW Colonial Estates.
Is that everything? It's cut off.
I'm sorry, it's cut off.
Yeah, that's why she couldn't read it, because I got.
I know, sorry.
Is that?
That's it.
That's
So
it.
That's it. That's the title, yep.
Sorry. Old business, Planning and Zoning Board nomination.
I'd like to nominate Brian Whittle.
We have a motion on the floor to nominate Brian Whittle of Planning and Zoning. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
Someone talk to Brian?
Yeah,
Yes.
so, the understanding is Brian would just go back in his capacity and finish out the term that he has because he resigned when he was running for public office.
Correct.
So he would go back and his term would expire and, finish out the term that he currently has.
Correct.
Everybody has the roster?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have any more motions for Planning and Zoning?
Did we do a complete vote on that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
We vote.
That's under new business.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, are we
We're
good?
good right now.
What's on the new business? Oh, okay, I got you, I got you, I got you.
We-
I got you.
Just to make it right, get your second and get your vote, because it wasn't clear.
Okay,
Okay.
so we have a motion to nominate, to return Brian Whittle back into his previous term by Councilman Wheeler, second by Councilman Asbill. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Brian, congratulations.
You just cut Craig out
Did I cut you out?
I motioned for it, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
all right. It's all right. I'll let Carrie take it.
That's all right. I'm sorry, Craig. Look, Craig, I'll let you do the next one. You take her glory now. All right, so do we have any more? All right, so now we're gonna
New
go to
business.
new business.
New business. Ms. Judy Roman, on behalf of St. Rita Parish, would like to request barricades and a police escort for the annual May crowning procession on Sunday, May 5th, 2019, after 11:30 a.m. Mass.
Okay, do we have a motion to grant permission?
Motion.
Motion by
long as,
Councilman Johnston.
Confirm with the chief?
Yep, second by Councilman Chatelain. All in favor?
Yay.
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Permission is granted. All right, Madam Clerk, number 2.
Hazard Mitigation Plan, Annual Progress Report, 2018 discussion.
Okay. Jeff Shirley, our regulatory director, has asked us to put this on the agenda tonight for discussion. Any discussion? Okay, no discussion. I would like to, we call for the vote on this, or just, no? Okay, so we have no discussion?
Jeff,
All right.
yeah.
No discussion, all right. Yes.
We will move on to number 3, city engineer.
City Engineer.
Okay. Okay. So city engineer, we
'Cause we
have,
didn't- Just get back, we didn't have to vote at all on the hazard mitigation, it was just.
No.
no, he just wanted to have it read. He just wanted to bring it up a topic. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, if he's not here, I don't know
Right.
why, but I don't think there's
Right.
anything to vote on, because he was just asking for a discussion,
Right?
and then there was no discussion.
No
Right,
discussion.
And he's,
So-
right,
Okay.
okay,
I mean,
no problem,
moving on.
just clarifying.
Yeah.
Okay, Madam Clerk?
City engineer.
City engineer.
Okay, for city engineer, we have chosen Rick Meyer of Meyer Engineering to come on as our city engineer through the proper process of RFP. And we reviewed all the SOQs, and he was our leading contender, was very close, but we would like to congratulate Rick Meyer and very welcome them coming aboard. Thank you, Rick. Madam Clerk, number 4.
High content ABO application for Fuel Star LLC, doing business as Fuel Star Oasis, located at 6025 Jefferson Highway, Suite C, for George J. Ackle III.
Okay, Chief, good. We good to go? Chief says we good to go. Do we have a motion to approve the ABO?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Asbill. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. ABO has been granted. Madam Clerk?
Planning and Zoning Commission nomination.
Okay. Okay. So,
I already nominated.
Okay.
We already did mine. That was
Okay.
under old business, but, because we got it on it,
So-
we had it on it twice.
Okay, we did, yeah.
Yeah.
it's okay.
So I would like to make a motion, since Mr. Buddy is currently a council member. His position is vacant on the Planning and Zoning Board, so I'd like to make a motion to replace Tommy Buddy with Nathan Lepre.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Councilman Wheeler to replace Tommy Buddy with Nathan Lepre for Planning and Zoning Board.
Second.
Second by Councilman Johnson. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
Yay. 5 yeas, 0 nays. Congratulations, Mr. Nathan Lepre.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Number 6, Planning and Zoning Commission.
That's it.
No.
Number 6. Yeah.
Planning and Zoning Commission removals.
Okay, so just to be clear, we heard from Mr. Emilio earlier, the chairman of the Planning and Zoning Commission. And I want everybody to understand that the opportunity to serve this great city of Harahan should be a privilege, and there are requirements to doing so. And so we want to help Mr. Emilio out as much as we can in doing his job that he's volunteering to do. So at this time, I move to remove Mr. Steve Dalfrez for violation of the Harahan City Code of Attendance.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Asbill and second by Councilman Johnson to remove Steve Delfres for lack of attendance. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Steve Delfres is removed from Planning and Zoning.
Also make a motion to remove Ms. Jerry Jelpe for violation of Harahan ordinance lack of attendance.
Motion by Councilman Asbill, second by?
On that, I'd just like to just make one statement with the 50%. I think we ought to reach out to them to see if they do want to do it and let them know that they are in violation and either they have to start showing up or they will be removed. I think they should at least give the option, being that they have been here half the time.
Sure.
They're trying to make the effort at least, and we just gotta, I think, throw it out there.
Okay.
Right, I understand it. I just think we should reach out to them just to let them know what all's going on, and if they don't show up more and be in attendance like they're supposed to be, then they are in violation. I think we should.
I tend to disagree. She hasn't done the training. She hasn't showed up. She knew what the requirements were.
And that was, no, not Jerry Jelpe. He said that was Barbara
I'm sorry,
Harney.
Jerry Jelpe. She knew what the requirements were when she took the position, so I'm gonna keep my motion to remove her.
Okay.
Okay, so do I have a motion by Councilman Asbill to remove Jerry Jelpe from Planning and Zoning? Do I have a second?
I second.
Second by Councilman Buddy. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0
Nay.
nays.
Nay.
I'm sorry, 5 yeas, 1 nay. Councilman Johnson said
4 yeas.
4 yeas, 1 nay. Councilman Johnson nayed me. So Jerry Jelpe will be removed from Planning and Zoning.
Also make a motion to remove Ms. Barbara Harney for violation of the Harahan Code of Ordinances lack of attendance.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Councilman Asbill to remove Barbara Horney for lack of attendance. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Wheeler. All right, call for the vote to remove Barbara Horney from Planning and Zoning.
Yay.
Yay.
Nay.
4 yeas, 1 nay. Barbara Horny is removed from planning and zoning.
Number 7.
Planning and Zoning Commission nomination.
This time I'd like to nominate Mr. Christopher Meeks to fill one of the vacancies, I guess the vacancy of Mr. Steve Alfred.
Okay. We have a
Second.
motion on the floor by Councilman Asbill to
Second.
nominate
Uh,
Christopher.
Can I comment on that before? When you fill this position,
Hold on.
you're,
Are you turned on?
No. There we go.
just keep in mind, when you choose who to fill, you're filling their unexpired term.
Right.
So that may affect your decision on which position to fill.
Yeah, we've been through that, huh?
They're all, Ms. Buddy, actually, all of these are at the same time.
Okay.
That's fine, thank you. I just
So, yeah. they're
didn't
all
know if there was a
2020.
difference.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we kind of,
Yeah, thank you.
Second for Chris Meeks. Chris Meeks.
Christopher Meeks. Meeks.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor to nominate Christopher Meeks for Planning and Zoning Board. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Johnston. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas,
no, I have to abstain.
4 yeas, 0 nays, 1 abstention. Okay. Do we have any more nominations for Planning and Zoning?
Yeah,
Oh.
thank you.
Thanks for Chris for agreeing to serve. Appreciate it.
I'll make a nomination. I'd like to make a nomination to put Pat Peppo back on the board.
Okay, so we may have issues.
There's
Yeah,
two,
there's two
two
open
more spots open.
Yes.
Here's where I'm not sure something, Steve, City Attorney. I want to understand the law to make sure that Pat Peppo doesn't have to sit out a certain length of time before we can renominate him back to the board. I want to make sure this is all i's are dotted and t's are crossed.
Well, let's make a deferral,
Okay.
make the
We
appointment
can always
next.
bring that up next month.
Mike wanted to say something.
Oh, Mike.
Send me an email and give me something to look at.
I'd love to have Mr. Peppo back on Planning and Zoning. but
So
if
we'll
we
make
do
some
it,
more
I want to
nominations
make sure
next
we
month.
do it right.
You had any comments, Mike? Yeah, come on.
Yes, please.
You can stay, you can stay
can
up on
come
that here. That way you don't have to keep walking.
I was reading over ordinance 1333. You do have a couple options there, but it doesn't, they're allowed to do 2 terms back-to-back, 5-year terms, and it doesn't say anything about how long they need to stay out. Also, it does say that a certain person can sit if there is nobody to take the spot that they are supposed to take. So I don't see there being a problem with,
I'm still gonna defer this to the city
not a
attorney.
problem,
Yeah,
but,
no
but it's not very clear. You know what I mean? I don't know what the state law says, so, but I did check
So
on
we'll
that.
just defer that till next month.
Okay, and then, so we have a third position open. Would anyone like to make a nomination?
We can make all of them next month.
Yeah, I think we'll
So we'll-
defer all of them.
So we have 2 spots open
Yeah.
for next month.
You got
Defer
it.
to the 2.
Put those on the
So we still have 2 spots. Okay, great.
And Mayor, just as a point of privilege real quick, I'm going to ask you, I guess, to instruct the city clerk to make sure that all the current members provide proof of their training to Mr. Medio at the next Planning and Zoning Commission, so we can make sure everybody's following the state law as well.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
And the new nominations, we will make sure that y'all get y'all's proper paperwork for y'all's required state training. So we'll make sure, we'll get those to you guys.
Okay. Madam Clerk?
Address the council.
Okay, would anyone like to address the council? Please state your name and address at the podium. Your full address, I'm sorry, your name at the podium.
May Jean Casnay, 46 Oak Avenue, Harahan. You've accomplished tonight what you all set up to do. See how few people are in the audience? You don't like people to speak the first time? You make us sit out and wait till the end of the meeting to speak. So I'm gonna read this letter. This council is silencing the voice of the people. You have removed the address the council session at the beginning of the meeting. This is the most important one because that's when the people are listening, but obviously you don't want to hear any complaints. During the previous administration, the 3 new council members made liberal use of the first address the council session, each complaining about the same issues over and over again. Issues that, for the most part, have been around for over 40 years. There is nothing new. It was just a ploy to harass the mayor by stretching out the meetings to make it seem like nothing could get done. Then at the end of the meeting, you all came back again to discuss the same thing over. Now that you are elected, and with the complaints of the other two councilmen and a former councilman, now mayor, you have removed the first address the council session because you don't want to hear what we have to say. And where are the others who address the council complaining about everything under the sun? Don't you find it amusing that they have disappeared from this stage? None of them are here tonight. The council used to be packed. Both address the council sessions should be kept because sometimes it seems that there are things being brought up in a meeting that should be addressed before at the end of the meeting, such as the executive session you all went into at the last meeting. What was that for? There was nothing on the agenda. Also, what happened to the Woods material lawsuit? Has the date been set for the Supreme Court hearing, or have you just canceled the lawsuit? This is not a transparency you all campaigned on. This is the typical closed-door type of policies that you don't want. Maybe it's time to reconsider your actions on silencing the people. Thank you.
I'm going to answer Ms. Magine on a couple of these things.
I was going to do it too.
You go.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
You want to close address the council first?
No.
Okay.
No,
I'm glad you stayed, you came up, you spoke your piece. I mean, it is address the council. We did this by all legal matters. We followed all of the rules possible to do this here. Before every ordinance, we have open address the council, so if you have something to speak about on that ordinance, you speak about it at that time. So I feel we followed the proper protocols. I appreciate your time coming here and speaking tonight.
Well, you should put the address to council at the beginning and not have to wait till the end of the meeting, because all the people have left by that time.
I wanted you to
that's
hear
just what you
everything we
wanted to
had to
do.
discuss, and then you could come up and discuss it with us. Thank you.
It's just what you wanted to do.
I'd like to make a comment that we've been here now for 2 hours. We're about to end the council meeting. We just adopted a budget, 4 or 5 other ordinances. I think it's been a pretty efficient run meeting. It's been orderly, it's been respectful, and for which I appreciate everyone, both up here and in the audience. So the goal was to move this along. So nobody's waiting till midnight for the second address to council. And there were times last year and the year before when address to council didn't start till about 9 o'clock, it seemed. So this is a very efficient use of everybody's time, and I'm really proud to be a part of it.
And I would like to speak on the executive session. That is to go over litigation, which is not for the public, to be done in public. We go in the back to talk about litigations with the city. That's what executive session's about. It's not about going to try and scheme on anybody back there.
And also, we moved the executive session to the front, so we wouldn't be paying attorney's fees to sit here till the end of the council meeting. So he comes in, gives us, debriefs us of what's happened, and he gets out of here and he's off the clock. That's saving citizens money, and that's smart government. Thank you, Councilman Johnson.
Dale Sono, 140 McHugh. I just wanted to expand on a comment that Chief Walker made earlier in the meeting about visibility of house numbers. For 32 years, I worked for Sears and Roebuck, and early in my career, there were several years I spent servicing appliances in people's homes. I had to look for houses. And that's when Sears was one of the nation's largest retailers, and I was pretty busy. And I was amazed at that time about what Chief was talking about, that people's house numbers were not visible. They were either missing or so small you couldn't see them from the street, or covered by the hedges, or the paint worn off, and you just couldn't distinguish the house numbers from the brick or the siding that it was on. And so what I had to do, and I'm sure that it happens this day with the police and the fire department when they're looking for a house for an emergency, and I was just doing a service call, what I had to do was figure out, go to the next house number, next house that had a number, and figure out the sequence of the numbers, how they incremented, and then go back and make a best guess at the house I needed, especially in those 2 or 3 houses without numbers in a row. And there were several times I knocked on a house, and I was at the wrong house. So I had to ask the people, where is Mrs. So-and-so? She's around here somewhere. Oh, she's next door. Now think of, in my retirement years now, I do a lot of walking and ride my bicycle around my neighborhood. And sometimes I look at the houses today during my walk and during my bike ride, and I'm still amazed at the number of houses today that don't have house numbers, or they are not clear, or they're missing, or they're overgrown by hedges. Now think if there's an emergency in your house, a member of your family needs immediately the services of the fire department or the police department. You don't want the fire department or police department to waste time trying to figure out where your house is. So I just wanted to agree with the chief that everybody is very important when you go home to look at your house, go across the street, look at your house, and see if your house number is visible. And if not, make it visible, because I think it's very important for every house, without exception, to have a high visibility on a house number on their house. Thank you.
Gary Hopkins, President of the Harahan Firefighters Association. Tomorrow is our annual fish fry. Lunch will be from 11 till 1 and dinner from 5 to 7. Now, I know it's going to be a little late for when it airs, but make sure to tell the neighbors and everyone in your own neighborhood what's going on. Secondly, 10 days ago was time change. We advised that y'all go home, check y'all smoke detectors, just check them and possibly change your batteries. We finally got our next batch of smoke detectors Monday. We've been waiting on them for 7 months now. So if anyone needs free smoke detectors in your home, just call us at the firehouse. You have to be a resident of Harahan, but we'll come out and install that for you. Thank you.
Gary, before you go, can you have another fish fry coming up? Will you do this? I normally go St. Rita, Fire Department, St. Rita, Fire Department.
Right. Well, we normally do the 2, but we had decided that our second fish fry, we were going to do that and donate all that money to Ziggy. So talking with the parish, we jumped ourselves, and we wound up combining with the parish and had that huge fish fry last month.
Right.
So this is going to be our second fish fry.
This is your only fish fry, your largest
For us.
fundraiser.
Correct.
For y'all, right.
And it has the best brown.
Yes, ma'am. $10 a plate, fried fish, crawfish, boiled potatoes, and corn, and a brownie.
Councilman Wheeler would like you to tell everyone how good the brownies are.
I
They're
gave
the
up sugar
best.
for Lent, so I did
Oh,
not try them.
You need to.
But there are.
Gary, I've heard they're really great.
If some of the other guys we're back there prepping right now, so I'm sure some of them will be gone.
Well, from a fat guy, I'll tell you, they really are some good brownies.
There you
We
go.
appreciate them.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Mr. Hopkins.
Thank you.
Okay, Madam Clerk, Secretary's report. Oh, I'm sorry. Do I have a motion to close address to council? Motion by Councilman Chatelain, second by Councilman Wheeler to close address to council. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Address to council is closed. Madam Clerk.
Secretary's report. Secretary's report for February 2019. Total revenue, $475,391.51.
Madam Clerk. Reports.
Reports.
Okay, Chief Walker.
Yes, statistics for the Harahan Police Department for February 2019. We had 558 calls for service, 15 auto accidents, 84 citations issued for 119 charges, 5 patrol requests. Narcotic arrests were 5, narcotics charges were 6, 2 felonies, 1 misdemeanor, and 3 city. Other arrests were 36 for 52 charges, 33 misdemeanors, 14 city, and 5 traffic. No murders, no rapes, no robberies, 2 residential burglaries, no non-residential burglaries, no attempted burglary, no motor vehicle thefts, no attempted motor vehicle thefts, 6 larceny thefts, and 7 assaults. Thank you. Have a happy Easter and safe.
Chief St. Cyr.
Mayor, council, viewing public, I probably should have stayed in my seat to give this report, but I'm gonna stand up here and try to hold it together. I'd like to thank this council. The citizens that have outreached or reached out to myself and my family. The number of condolences and well wishes has been overwhelming. I appreciate your support. I apologize if I've been a little disengaged. I'm trying to get it together, and I will soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. You know we're always there for you if you ever need anything, Chief.
You know what'll make better? A brownie. A brownie will make it better.
And a hug.
Councilman Asbill?
So a couple things. First, Easter egg hunt on April 6th. Bring the kids out, enjoy a little Easter egg hunt. Proceeds going to the Harahan Athletic Association. This weekend, Saturday, I'm sorry if I'm stepping on anybody's toes if they were going to do this, but this weekend, Saturday, is the cornhole tournament. If you haven't signed up, that'll also make it better, Chief. The cornhole tournament. If you haven't signed up a team, please consider signing up a team. It's $50 a team. All the proceeds going into the 8-year-old bitty girls basketball.
Is cleanup day still going to be going on?
Cleanup day Saturday morning at Royal Land Park, beginning at 7:30 until, and then after that, 1 o'clock is the cornhole tournament. Also, just like to make a quick announcement that today is National Down Syndrome Awareness Day. Down syndrome is a genetic chromosome 21 disorder causing developmental and intellectual delays. Some people also have serious health conditions. March 21st is Down Syndrome Awareness Day because it signifies the tripling of the 21st chromosome, the cause of Down syndrome. So today, one of the things we do is we wear mismatched socks. So excuse my feet up on the dance, but we wear mismatched socks to signify Down Syndrome Day, and I just wanted to bring that awareness. Please do some research on it. Thank you.
Councilman Buddy?
I'd like to comment on the first government budget process I've been through. I want to thank everybody in the administration and my fellow council members for being patient with me and teaching and guiding me and helping me through this. It's been at the end of the day, it's been a really good experience for me, but thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Chatelain?
All right. April 7th, the same day as the Ziggy fundraiser, there's another fundraiser down at the Camp Bar. It's Miracle Beauties. It's going to be a little crawfish cook-off. You can stop by and make them both. That'd be great. Sometimes you can. I understand. Also, on April 6th, we have the Easter egg hunt he talked about. That's early in the day, so you after the Easter egg hunt, you go down St. Matthews, show our support. They have a crawfish cook-off also. And I believe next Friday.
Yeah, I was
okay.
ready to bring it up.
Go ahead. I thank everybody for coming. Appreciate y'all support. I think the city's moving forward in a positive way. Thank you.
Councilman Johnston?
All right. Just what Eric was about to say, we next Friday on the 29th at St. Rita, they have a fish fry over there also. It starts at 5 to 8. They're going to have fried fish, fried shrimp, combination plate, or a baked fish option. And I heard that they're going to be having trying a couple of other things out that I don't know the menu on that one yet. But it's $10 for the plate. It's $5 for 2 pieces of pizza for the kids if they don't eat the fish and stuff like that. And then the other options would probably be $5 or a couple more dollars.
Councilman Wheeler?
The only thing I can think of is St. Rita's currently having their play this weekend. It's little Annie Junior. I know by the time this gets advertised, it'll be, but outside of all the other activities. And Todd, I will have to say, I never had the pleasure of meeting your mother. But if she's living through you, then she must be an amazing person. Because you truly are an amazing person. And I know it's hard. And we're all here for you. It's not just us, it's the entire city.
Right, definitely.
So, but have a brownie. It will make you better, I promise. Have 2.
I'm hoping that some of Kerry sugar, because he's gonna help me.
Oh, yeah, yeah, where is that? Oh, but, and everybody have a happy Easter. And congratulations to the new nominees and appointments for planning and zoning.
Councilman Chatelain?
I have one other thing to say. You know, Chief, Mr. Dale got up talking about addresses on houses. Last month, fire department responds. Normally when they respond, it's normally not a fire. Thank God.
Right.
They respond to medical calls. 2 young children in the last month not breathing. Fire department responds. An address makes a world of difference. I have goosebumps right now telling this story. When I pulled up and I seen what was going on, it was amazing. Neighbors come out. You don't know what's going on. Don't pull up and think they're blocking the road and complain. You know, they're blocking the whole Colonial. You know, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on through somebody's mind. When there's a 6-day-old baby who stops breathing and you have 3 fire trucks, 4 police cars, paramedics, everybody there, and that quick of response time, they can block whatever street they need to block. If somebody's got a problem, you just don't know. I know no one has a problem with that. But when you see it, you think it's an excessive call. You know, why do they have all of this out there? I got the most respect for the fire department, police department, most first responders. You just need to be careful. Same thing, I mean, people speeding. You know, sometimes you'll see a car driving 70 down Jefferson Highway. You know, and I'm always like, what's going on with this guy? Don't try to get in front of that guy. Don't try to slow that guy down. Something's wrong. I mean, they might mentally not be safe, you know, and then if you try to slow them down, it's going to put your life in danger. They might be going to a medical call. They might be having a heart attack. You don't know what's going on. So before you respond to something, you know, you just need to sit back and think. I'm not sure what's going on in these people's mind, you know. So just think about that. And like I said, just compliments to the police, fire department, first responders. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, we are truly, truly blessed to have the fire department and the police department that we have. I mean, I can tell you what was going on. 2 people's babies stopped breathing. That's what happened, and they were on the scene, and they're amazing. I hope that we all recognize how amazing they are and what we have here in this community when it comes to our fire and our police. But Councilman Will, I want to tell you something. I had the pleasure of meeting Ms. Gale. Firecracker. I mean, that's like the best thing that can even come to my mind. There was a time when I was very green in this administration, and me and the St. Cyr family came up at odds on a different issue. And I gotta tell you, Miss St. Cyr sat right there where Miss Judy Johnson was, and I think she was gonna come and fight me. I'm like, I'm over here shaking, I'm like, Jesus Lord! The whole St. Cyr family's here, but let me tell you what, the matriarch of that St. Cyr family was right there, Jack, and she was ready to put hands on somebody.
She sat there in case I was gonna fight you, because she had my back.
I loved her. She was awesome.
And just so that the public knows that didn't even come, despite what you may read on Facebook these days, that didn't even come close to happening.
I was
We're gonna have a fight.
I was pretty scared.
Yeah.
But I love her. I love the entire St. Cyr family. You know, it's one of the first families of the city, and it's you know, for them to still be here is amazing. Todd, you know.
You know, something that I wanted to mention, I don't mean to interrupt you,
No,
Mayor,
go ahead,
but, you know, she was there the night that I was appointed chief, and I had hoped that she'd be there the night that I retired.
She's gonna be there. She'll be there. She's here now. And she's probably saying.
Your
turn. Yeah, because you messing me all up over here. Chief St. Cyr and I have gotten very close over the past few months. He has been my right hand, my administrative assistant, if you will, but I don't want no insult to him because this boy knows what he's doing. Paul Johnson got one brother, I got the other, and I'm going to hang on to him. This has been an eventful month. I got to really go out. I've done this with Carlo Ferreira before, but we've actually been out to collect some bees on Mayo Street, which was pretty cool. You should have seen all of the neighbors were out there, and we got this little guy comes out with the vacuum cleaner. And the bees were swarming real bad, and he's like, you just be careful, because when we get down to the last few bees, they're gonna take off. And boy, let me tell you something, they did. And we were all running through the neighborhood, and we got bees flying everywhere. It was the craziest thing ever, but to see the community come out and just embrace it out there and just be a part of everybody and helping everyone, man, that's the kind of stuff that I really love to see in this city. I love, you know, when we can do things as a community like that, because for us to persevere and forge ahead, we'll have to do it as a community. We'll have to do it as a team. That was why my campaign slogan was Harahan United, because united is the way that we will become the greatest city in Louisiana, the greatest city in America, and that's how we're gonna be able to do it. Let me talk about the budget for 1 minute. Whew, that's what I'm gonna say about this budget. 3.5 weeks we have put into working on this budget. This is the first time I've been on the other side of it. They tried to pull some boogie woogie on me, but I wouldn't let it happen because I've been on that side before. And I'm telling you, we had to hammer out some serious details on this budget, but we did it cohesively, friendly. We've came to some agreements. We all bent where we didn't want to sometimes. We always met in the middle. And man, I just want to thank this council and our chief accountant officer, Todd Turion, for helping us. I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you guys again. Of course, I'm always proud of my staff, which is absolutely amazing. I got blessed with the best staff ever. Shannon here tonight, my number 2, taking over for Nicole. You did amazing, my sweetheart. I just want to let you know. You did amazing. And I just want to wish everyone a happy Easter. Good night. Madam Clerk, pay the bills.
Pay bills. Bills paid in February 2019. Total expenditures, $382,371.34. I'll go ahead and repeat it again because I know it's different. $382,371.34.
We've already gone into executive session.
Motion to
Do
adjourn?
we have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by?
Second.
Councilman Wheeler, all in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. This council meeting is now adjourned.